I'm Mark Dresner, and this is Research TV, brought to you by the Market Research Event, the largest and most comprehensive conference in the world dedicated to increasing the business value of insights.
Joining us today are the EXPLOR Award winners and the founder of the annual case study competition. Let's start with you, Chuck. Can you tell us a little bit about this particular submission, what stood out in the judging and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that really, I think, this case represented a couple things for the judges. I mean, first, it was the insights into the mobile space, which, you know, is a channel that marketers are really trying to figure out right now. It's something that, as researchers, we're kind of struggling and kind of in our infancy, you know, trying to collect data in. And it's something that really resonated with the judges for that reason. I think the second is really the data integration element, that, you know, more and more as researchers, we're being challenged to use multiple data streams, get out of our comfort zone of primary survey data, and this was a case that really represented that, using a primary ethnography study, a mobile survey and itself, and then certainly the metered and behavioral data. I mean, really the combination of those three things to really derive insights is something that kind of stood out from everything else. I think also, at the end of the day, one of the things about EXPLOR is that it really needs to resonate in terms of organizational impact. You know, a cool technology for the sake of technology really isn't going to win the EXPLOR Award. I think in this case, AOL had talked about a mobile-first strategy and really trying to work with publishers and advertisers to understand mobile, and this case really met that objective for AOL.
Alec, I understand that you set out to conduct some pretty groundbreaking work here. Tell me about the methodology, the design, what was involved. Chuck kind of touched on some of this stuff. If you can give us a little more detail on that, please.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. First of all, we didn't really set out to do groundbreaking research. AOL came to us with a big idea. They wanted to rethink mobile, which is just the scope of that statement is huge. And you don't go into that kind of undertaking lightly. So we talked with them and tried to understand what their hypotheses were in terms of the marketplace. And they weren't sold that the conventional wisdom of the market was quite right. And so the marketplace tends to view mobile behavior in terms of the apps or websites they use. It could be a weather app, a shopping app, a gaming app, and that's how you kind of bucket the activities. And they weren't convinced that was quite right, but they weren't sure exactly what the right way of looking at the marketplace was. So we realized we had to go beyond the what and how people were using mobile apps and websites to understand why they were using those apps and websites, what was really driving those choices. And so we thought our behavioral lens approach to understanding moments and using the moment as the unit of analysis would be an ideal application to better understand what's going on with mobile and what's really driving mobile. So we applied that, and by doing so we were able to integrate research information across multiple modes. Qualitatively, doing a 7-day diary with 24 participants to really understand what the topology of moments are. And moments, in this case, we think of it as kind of the context of engagement for a brand or a product in terms of where people are, what they're doing, and what their goals are. And it's really the environmental context and the personal or psychological context brought together at a certain point in time. And so we were able to understand the topology of moments, and then we took to that and put that into a survey where we were able to measure those moments across 3,000 different moments, and then segment the moments based on the motivators of choice. And beyond that, we also captured what websites and apps are doing in those moments and how satisfied consumers were and the value of brand messaging in those moments. And by doing so, we recast the marketplace based on different segments of behavior that was characterized by their motivators of choice, which provided some phenomenal results. And on top of that, we know that self-reported survey information, especially when it comes to mobile behavior, it's challenging, it's problematic. Yeah. People can't tell you, oh, I spent 22 minutes playing Angry Birds on last Friday. That's just not gonna happen. So we went into this realizing that we need to have actual behavior through a metered source. And so we partnered with a metered technology provider, and when we conducted the survey, we utilized 2/3 of the sample came from their participants. And because we knew the distribution of moments, we were able to calibrate the minutes of time across those different segments of mobile behavior, providing that, on average, the number of minutes per segment, which has provided some really phenomenal results. for AOL.
Terrific. Vicki, let's talk about what was involved going into this, and then maybe some of the impact on your organization, if you'd like. As Alec mentioned, AOL came to them with the idea. What prompted all of this?
Well, what initially prompted this, we had a meeting with BBDO, the media agency, media branding agency, and we at AOL wanted to answer the question, or we wanted to be able to, we have a new mobile first strategy at AOL, and we basically are embarking on mobile first, and we wanted to be able to advise our product development teams and our sales teams and our advertisers about what should they be doing on mobile. At the same time, BBDO came to us because they have a lot of their clients that are asking the same question, what should we be doing on mobile? And we saw that there was a gap there. There's a gap between how much time consumers are actually spending on mobile, which is quite a bit, and how much ad spend is actually going to mobile, which is very, very small. And we didn't know why that gap was there. And so that's why we came to InsightsNow to really answer that question and to find out why there was that gap there and what should we really be doing on mobile.
Going into this, were you looking for something novel in the way of research specifically? Obviously, you probably weren't charging in going, we just have to do something different, but was that something you were anticipating?
Absolutely. We were definitely looking for something novel because there is a lot of mobile research out there. And so we knew we needed to do something different and groundbreaking, because the questions that we were asking hadn't been answered before in all of the prior research projects that have been done in the industry. So we knew we needed to do something different to really get underneath the surface of what was going on with consumers and really answer that question. What are we missing? What's going on? Why is it that the current messaging on mobile isn't resonating with consumers?
So what's the impact been?
Well, the impact has been probably threefold. So the impact at AOL, we have been in the last month, because this research was released just a little over a month ago, in the last month we've been doing an internal roadshow at AOL and presenting to internal product teams as well as sales teams. And then we've also been presenting to our clients. And so we've gone and presented at a series of mobile summits in Chicago, in Palo Alto, in LA, where we've been presenting to sales and to our clients. And now we're taking that a step further, and we're going to individual meetings with clients and presenting to them. And what it's doing by presenting to our internal teams and presenting to clients is, at AOL, we're changing the organizational mindset from a development perspective of mobile, where we're building mobile products and mobile advertising products and mobile content based on the functionality of the device. And we're changing that to a consumer mindset, where we are building products and content and messaging and advertising products based on what consumers need and what they want and what's driving them to go to mobile. And at the same time, we're working with BBDO to develop a story from the insights to really help their clients, their brands that they work with, answer the question, what should we be doing on mobile? And the third impact is we've been impacting the conventional wisdom in the industry. And so the conventional wisdom before we did the research and for the last few years has been that mobile is all about utility and it's all about this on-the-go moment. And you've seen a lot of headlines out there about geo-targeting, geolocation, the ability to be able to beam a coupon to someone while they're shopping in a store. And that's really been seen by the industry as the opportunity in marketing. And what our research revealed is actually that people are actually spending more time at home on their mobile phones. And the majority of time that they spend engaging with apps and websites is at home. And they're doing it when they're in the one moment that we got from the segmentation, they're doing it while they're in me time. So they're relaxing, they're at home, they're indulging, they're entertaining themselves, and that represents 68% of the minutes that they're using their smartphones. And since we first released this research about 5 weeks ago, we've already seen the headlines change. And so we've seen headlines out there from a number of different marketing blogs, technology websites, like Digiday, like Mashable, talking about how mobile really isn't mobile. It's more about at home, and how people are maybe going to their mobile to get me time And so really seeing the conventional wisdom change. That's sort of the third impact of the research.
Fantastic. Well, I've got to congratulate you both, because really this is truly an EXPLOR Award worthy piece of work and project that you've done. High impact, very, very creative solution from a research perspective. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming today. And on that note, that closes this episode of Research TV. I'm Mark Dresner. You've just heard the Insight Scoop.